hit over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is a pretty big milestone for me, so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much, everyone. And today we're going to be making a cake to celebrate and also a crochet cake. Further into this video, I'm going to be doing like a very small Q&A and like tips and tricks. Just like a little chit chat, maybe while the cake is baking. Follow along if you want to be a part of that. Anyway, first things first, let's go make the cake. Welcome to my kitchen. So we've got all the stuff that I need to make the cake. We are making carrot cake. Before we get into like the cake making and stuff like that, I wanted to quickly just like take a minute to tell you like what my channel is all about. My name is Tanisha. It's lovely to meet you if you haven't been here before, or if you have, thank you for coming back. I usually just do like a whole bunch of different artsy sort of craft video ideas. So I do like a lot of crochet and knitting mainly. That's what we're celebrating today. Onto the cake now. If you would like to know a fun fact, you're actually balancing on like an esky on top of 2 stools because I can't find my tripod. So, you know. One of my videos, I actually made our fake wedding cake. And so I'll pop some pictures up on the screen of like the vibe that we're going for.
One of the comments I've heard most is what the gets there and stuff, but also don't want it.
Also, if you have not checked out Jamie French on YouTube yet, she is literally probably my favorite YouTuber of all time. Like, she's just always makes me laugh. She's so humble. She's not inappropriate. I highly, highly recommend her. Love you, Jamie. You'll never see this. She also has a birdie, just like me, so that's cool.
Don't buy a tie-dye shirt and a goatee. Don't adopt an adult if you're going to be creepy towards said adult. Not only do they show you all of your recurrings, it was awesome to hear. Great! Wonderful! No yelling on the bus! No yelling on the bus! But
yummy, yummy, yummy. He's holding back, he's hiding, but what I can't decide. Why won't he be the king I know he is, the king I see inside? And can you feel my love tonight? Tonight, it is where we are. Back in the good old days when, I don't think I'm in focus. Am I in focus? I don't know. You know, like back in the good old days where you'd have like your favorite movies on DVDs. Well, we had The Lion King on DVD, and I specifically remember watching the behind the scenes of like the music, and there was this funky looking guy there on the behind the scenes. I used to love watching behind the scenes. And I was like, oh, that guy looks really funny, like he looks really interesting. And he was talking about how he was so upset that at the premiere of The Lion King, his song, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, was only used in the credits. Turns out, I found out many, many years later that that was Elton John, which I now know and love his music. And I totally agree. I was like, why is he so upset? And I totally agree. I love his version of Can You Feel the Love Tonight. It's lovely. Very lovely. Why is my camera doing this? Tonight. Great, now that song's stuck in my head. Wish it luck. Right now, I think we're going to jump into the Q&A part, discussion part of the video. So, yeah, let's go. Kitty. Neighbor's kitty is here. Anyway, while the cake is baking, we can just chill and have a little chit chat. So, how YouTube is changing my life. In my last video, I actually, for the first time ever, referred to myself as a YouTuber, which was very surreal. And I know that this is only the beginning of my journey, but I'm really dedicated towards this journey. I know I can feel it. I can feel that, like, this is, at least for now, I feel like This is giving me a real sense of purpose. I guess I should start with how it was before I kind of got into a regular routine. It's only been this past, not even a year. It's only been, oh, yeah, maybe around a year, almost a year, I think, that I have been like uploading more regularly on YouTube. Because I'm studying and because I work technically 3 other jobs. My third job is my husband and I do like music gigs on the weekends and like for private parties and stuff like that. I might have mentioned it a couple of times, but that is technically a third job, although it's very unpredictable. Obviously, with balancing all of those responsibilities, I have only been able to upload once a month. I don't know. I feel like a lot of YouTubers feel pressured to upload every week or even like twice a week, which is actually crazy. Like it obviously depends. It obviously depends what you're filming, what sort of content you are filming. But because I'm making stuff and because I don't want to just put stuff out for the sake of putting stuff out. So yeah, I have been sort of consistently uploading like one long form video every month, and I have been doing like shorts on YouTube and like Instagram Reels. So that kind of fills in the gaps. And they're all mostly related to previous videos. So that's been good. It takes me quite a while to edit a video, especially like a long, very chatty videos that has to have music and text and sound effects, and like I still try to keep it minimal, but you know, it ends up being a lot. So that in itself takes me a week. So a week for creating, a week for editing and uploading, and then do that again for the second half of the month. That would be my optimal, my goal. I've actually had this YouTube channel since like 2020, I think, but I just never really did anything with it. Literally my teenage years, a lot of it was spent on watching YouTube videos. That's where I learned how to draw. That's where I learned how to paint. Painting was a big one when I was in high school. It was where I learnt how to be creative. So, you know, YouTube was like a big deal for me, and I kind of always had it in the back of my head that I wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to be like a content creator, I think, or at least share my stuff online. I just didn't really know how to do it. So yeah, I had my channel in 2020, didn't do anything with it, and it's only been the last like 9 months that I have been pretty consistent with my uploading, and I've kind of built this little community, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of you that, you know, watch my videos and leave a like and a comment. Like, it means the world to me. I love that for me, having this YouTube channel is a perfect opportunity for me to be forced to make things. So being an adult, like I've just previously stated, I've got like technically 3 jobs, and we do family stuff, and I'm married, we live together, we try to do stuff together, we've got a dog, I've got a bird, so like there's just a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that need to get done. So yeah, there's just, I love how having this YouTube channel, it genuinely, like, I've seen it as a sort of creative diary for me. So we moved into this house almost 4 years ago, which is actually crazy. And so I feel like there was so much new stuff happening that was taking up all of my time. But then once that started slowing down, it got a little bit dull. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe that's why I got a little bit more into the YouTube realm, and I was like, this is a perfect outlet for me that can trigger my creativity. Like when you're so busy as an adult, you just don't, like I can't remember the last time I sat down, and like I love drawing and painting. I can't remember the last time I just did that because I wanted to. Long story short, I love making these videos. It forces me to be creative. It forces me to have a purpose in being artistic, which I know that can grow into something, yeah, just grow into something more. I was so sad that the first few years that we lived in this house, I was not creative at all. It is sad when like, it's not that you don't have the time to sit down and get into your hobbies and do what you love doing, but yeah, it's like my little anxious brain is just telling me that there are more important things to do, which is sad because I feel like it's very important for people to have their little hobbies, and like sometimes that's what gets you through life. Like everything else is too serious. And for me, being able to just do these projects and share them with you, it's gonna sound really, really silly, but I don't know. It's genuinely something that I look forward to every week, you know, just creating. I can't be the only one that feels this way. You know, when you're like a kid and you just like stay up late at night in your bed and you're just like thinking about that one thing that you want to do, whether it's like playing soccer at school or drawing after school the next day. I don't know, why am I relating it to school? But you know, as a kid I used to do that a lot, where I would just like daydream about that one thing that I just loved doing. And as adults you kind of lose that. I just feel like that part of me has come back. I've always been such a creative person. It's gotten me through a lot of hard times in my life. I've just always turned, I've just always turned to like being creative, being artistic. I didn't mean for this to turn like so serious, but yeah, I've just, it's been like an escape for me, delving into like just art. It's really gotten me through a lot, and it's still getting me through a lot. It's genuinely something that I look forward to every week, when the days can just go on feeling like they're all the same. I'm just trying to make you understand how like important it is for me to have this little bit of the internet here on YouTube. So I also recently turned 25. So I turned 25 in September, which is like, I don't know, I feel like throughout the whole year when people ask me my age, I just said 25 anyways. But actually turning 25, I was getting a little worried because I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life. Like I know a lot of people around my age who don't know what they want to do. In the end, I would just love to have a very simple life. A simple and slow life, with a little bit of art and creating, you know, making sure that I create and be an artist along the way. Yeah, being some sort of content creator is like what I've just recently realized that I wanted to do. Having something to focus on. It doesn't even matter if you're not sharing it with people. Like some sort of hobby where you better yourself in and you learn and you get better at it. I feel like for me, it has really helped with my mental health. Just giving me something to look forward to and to occupy my brain so that I'm not so caught up in my thoughts sometimes. It's just like another outlet for me to, yeah, relax in a way. My mental health has improved like very drastically within the last year. So, you know, all of the benefits of pursuing what you love. Long story short, YouTube has changed my life recently. It has made me a more confident person. It's taught me a lot, although it may be silly to some and it may be kind of insignificant. This has brought back that little spark in me, that little creative spark that I was missing for all those years. I love making things. That's who I am. It's what brings me joy, truly. I think my cake's ready. I'll be back in a second to give you a few tips and tricks of what I've learned so far. Oh my gosh, guys, they turned out so well. They look bloody delicious. Don't burn yourself. Oh. Wow. All right, so here are the cakes. They turned out really nicely. I obviously cut the tops so that they would lay on top of each other, and I could put cream in the middle, and then that will make it nice and thick and it'll be nice and flat, hopefully on the bottom. I think I'm definitely going to need like hot water. How does that look? I don't want it to collapse, but that's pretty thick. We're gonna do like a crumb coat, basically. It's to kind of like seal the crumbs so that when you do the final piping, like smoothing it out, you don't get any crumbs coming from the bottom layer. So it's basically just to seal that layer. It's the first layer. Oh my goodness, guys. I think there's more icing in the middle than there is there is on the top. Holy crap! I'm gonna go put this in the freezer. So this is as good as it's gonna get. Lovely. It doesn't really look that nice from the side, but the top part looks nice. Probably gonna cut it later on today. I'm obviously not a professional, and it's not like I do this for a job or anything, but I have learnt a few things within the last like 8 months of doing this that I'm really proud of. I thought it was worth sharing. If you're interested in making your own YouTube channel, all I can say is just do it. Just do it. Doesn't matter if you don't have the right camera, does not matter if you don't have a microphone. I only just recently got a microphone. Hopefully you can hear a difference. You don't need the nicest house. I've only got this one little corner that I like filming in. I feel like I'm always in this spot every time. It's just basically, it doesn't need to be perfect. I think that was what was holding me back for a really, really long time, is that I wanted it to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be. You just gotta start and you will learn stuff along the way. If I had to say for the basics, you would need some sort of device to record on. I'd say your phone is fine, and a laptop. Because if you try to film and edit on your phone, it's possible, but it's just very, like for YouTube, long form YouTube videos, it's just gonna be very difficult. You can even use iMovie. I think I used to use iMovie, but recently well, not recently, like 4 years ago, I bought Final Cut Pro. I was gifted a camera, Canon M50, but I was gifted that by my husband like 3 years ago because he knew that I wanted to do YouTube ages ago, even though I had no idea what to do. I use my iPhone to film all of my like Instagram reels and shorts. If you can, I would highly, highly recommend getting an external hard drive. I can't actually remember what it's called, but I will pop it up on the screen. I know that some content creators actually keep every single raw file of all of their videos, but I just don't. I know that my hard drive will just fill up so quickly if I do that. So sadly, I do have to delete all of my like raw videos, but whenever I am just about to upload a video to YouTube, I keep the final copy of the video on my hard drive. That's a very important thing, I think, just in case something happens to your channel. All of my music that I use is from copyright-free YouTube videos. And I only have like 6 different music thingies that I use. As long as you reference, like not reference, but as long as you credit who the creator is, you should not get a copyright strike. But yeah, how does it just say one thing? Just do it. Just do it. Just be confident. Don't worry about like talking to the camera. Even now, I'm like, I have to like edit a lot of my videos because I feel like I'm very choppy with how I speak. But that's all of the little tips that I've got. I feel like I don't have a lot in it. You've probably heard them before, but yeah, you know, stick to one sort of topic, 1-2 topics. Be consistent, even if that means uploading once a month, which is what I do because that's all I can afford to do. That's how much time I have left in my life. You know, even if it's just once a month or twice a month, that's okay. And just be yourself. Like, don't try to be anyone else. So I wanted to do my very, very short Q&A. I think I only got like 3 questions, which is fine. Thank you so much to those like 2 or 3 people that sent in questions. You guys are very lovely. I think I'll put the text on the screen, but I'll leave their names out. Okay, so how long have you been crocheting/knitting? Does one of them come more naturally to you? I technically learned both around age 9, but knitting didn't fully click for me until I was 24. Oh, I so can relate to that. Thank you for the question. It's actually a really good question. Technically learned both around age 9, but knitting didn't fully click. Yeah, I can totally relate to that. I think in a similar way, I think I also learnt to knit when I was, I must have been 9 or 10. But my mom didn't really know how to knit well either. She was just like showing us on flat needles, and I think it was just like us making a scarf. So one side was the knit, and yeah, so it was like stocking knit, I think. So yeah, but then I probably wasn't very good at it. I remember my brother being extremely good at it, and he like made some stuff, but he must have been like 14 at the time. I guess I wasn't really that interested in it because I don't really remember doing it much after that. When I did my Paul McCartney knit sweater vest, I think that's when I finally understood how knitting works. Mostly, it still confuses the heck out of me. So yeah, also I was 24. Was it last year? Yeah, I was also 24. Not only was I learning how to knit again, actually I might have made a scarf before that. Yeah, I think I made a scarf. I was doing like a knit with me video. Yes, knit with me. I did a knit with me, and it was a scarf. That was my first proper comeback into knitting, but I was still 24. But yeah, back to my Paul McCartney vest. I think not only was I learning how to like do rib stitch and just stocking knit stitch, but I was also doing color work, which is insane. Why did I do that to myself? I don't know why I did that to myself, but it turned out really nice. And yeah, I learned how to increase, decrease, and I also ended up doing steeking in that video, which was interesting. I didn't know I had to do that. That wasn't really part of the question, but went on a bit of a tangent. I'll actually answer the questions now, sorry. So how long have you been crocheting, knitting? Like I said, knitting, I did it for like a couple days when I was like 9 or 10. And now I've been knitting for probably a little bit over a year. No, definitely over a year and a half. I don't know. Ever since my knit with me video came out, I've been knitting slowly. Every now and then, here and there. So not long at all, not even 2 years. Crocheting, however, I have been crocheting ever since I was in high school. So actually, I'm gonna tell you a little story, okay? I've only got like 3 questions, so I might as well just like spread them out. Story time. Yeah, when I think I must have been 13, maybe 14. 11 years, I think I've been crocheting. I remember my good friend, my lovely, lovely friend who I'm still friends with right now. I don't get to see her often, but she came to school one day and she was crocheting, and I was like, what on earth was that? And back then I didn't have a phone, I didn't have social media, so I had absolutely no idea what this thing was, and I only knew of knitting. And she was like, this is crochet, do you want me to teach you how to crochet? And I was like, okay, cool. And so the next day she brought a hook, which, hang on, I use it for every single, it's this hook. She brought this very hook, 4mm hook. She brought this 4mm hook, which I'm pretty sure was in like a pack. She must have had it in like a pack because they're all like metallic. I've seen those metallic packs. But she brought this to me, wow, 11 years ago. That next day she brought this, and she brought some yarn, and she's like, I'm gonna teach you how to, I think it was either a rose or a bow. I think she taught me how to make a bow, which I think I still have a photo. I can put a photo up on the screen if I can find it. And I picked it up really quickly, and she was like, wow, you're a really fast learner. And I was like, oh yeah, I just gonna have to get my own hooks. And she's like, no, keep it. Keep it, just go home and practice. And she gave me some wool, some yarn. She was lovely. Such a cute little gesture, you know? And I've had this very hook for like 11 years. Wow. So this is very special to me, this one hook, and I use it for a lot of my projects because it's like a perfect size, and it's like such a distinct color that thank goodness I've never lost it. Although I've moved a few times, I've never lost it. There have been some times where I've left it in the car or it's been like eaten up by the lounge, but so far I haven't lost it. And now that I'm saying that, I kind of don't want to use it anymore. I want to like keep it safe. Thank you so much, my lovely friend who encouraged me to learn a new craft and who was kind enough to sit with me at recess at school and let me borrow your yarn and teach me such a valuable skill to me. Thank you. Does one of them come more naturally to you? 100% crochet. I'm sure that a lot of people, unless they're very skilled with knitting, I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that. Crochet, I just make shapes. Shapes is like the easiest way that I can describe it. I can pretty much look at something and try to recreate it from crochet. Whereas knitting probably would do better if I followed a tutorial or a pattern. And whenever I decrease or increase or do anything fancy like that, I always have to revise and watch a video tutorial because I completely forget. Knitting can be more relaxing because it's like very, very repetitive. Crochet can be repetitive as well, but I don't know, I think it's a little bit more movement. Definitely crochet comes more naturally to me. I think maybe also because I've been doing it a lot longer. One more question. This question was from Instagram. Do you like plants? Do you like plants? I do like plants. I love plants. I wish that I had so many more plants. I was actually just realizing I was getting that itch, you know. I was like, it's getting warmer here in Australia and I really, really want to get more plants for the house. And I don't know, like it depends what plants you have, what plants you get, because I feel like they can be a lot of work. Oh, I just mainly have plants that are like vines or yeah, trailing plants basically, because you don't really need to do much with them. I think you might be able to see one. Oh, okay, I do have my Monstera up there as well, but most of my other plants are like these vine plants. So I think I've got a Brazil. I propagated some of my plants a few videos ago and this one just randomly started growing all these shoots. So like for a few weeks it didn't have any growth, but this is from my Brazil, so the mother plant is sitting up there. So gonna have some more little babies of those soon. I also have a snake plant, but I don't really do anything with her. She just sits there. So yeah, I do like plants. I definitely want to get a bigger collection. My favorite plant of all time is my string of hearts. My string of hearts has grown so long and I've propagated her like so many times. So yeah, thank you so much for the questions, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye. What do you think? Isn't it so cute? It's so cute. It's like, it's questionable, but it's cute. It's kind of like, I didn't realize that I was kind of making like a cake pillow. Yeah, it's nice and squishy. So, I really like these leaves actually. Take a look at my cake. It's not really the right shape. Oh, maybe if I hold it like this. I don't know. I feel like it should be taller, but also flatter. If I try to flatten it out, the sides just get spread out. So I have just accepted it like this. I really love the little raspberries that I ended up doing. I know that on the actual cake, I did half raspberries, so I cut them in half, but I don't know how to crochet half raspberries. I only learnt how to crochet these raspberries yesterday. It's quite a nice contrast. The leaves are quite a nice contrast with the raspberries. I did this bubble stitch. on the top and bottom. This is supposed to be that same bubble stitch, which is like the original. Other than the shape, I'm pretty happy with like everything else. But this is for you guys. I'm gonna keep that. Very special to me. We've made it to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed watching this one. I had fun, and the cake was delicious, by the way. That's my breakfast. In view. Sorry. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate all of you, every single one of you. Have a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you are in this world, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon. Toodles.